Laura attempted to focus on her work, but she was plagued by the sensation of being watched. She darted furtive glances around the office, but everything seemed to be in its proper place. Suddenly, a noise pierced the silence. It was a soft scratching sound, emanating from the corridor. Laura froze, her heart pounding in her chest. She slowly rose to her feet and approached the door. She peered out into the hallway, which was shrouded in darkness. However, she could discern something moving in the shadows. Laura took a deep breath and stepped out into the hallway. "Hello," she called out. "Is anyone there?" There was no response. The scratching sound persisted. Laura followed the sound to the end of the hallway, where she found a door leading to a storage room. She hesitated. She was unsure whether or not to enter. However, the scratching sound resumed, this time closer. Laura knew she had to investigate. She took a deep breath and opened the door. The storage room was dark and dusty, with barely enough light to see. Laura took a step inside and felt something brush against her leg. She screamed and recoiled in horror. Something was crawling on the floor. Laura couldn't see what it was, but she knew it was large. Laura turned and fled to her office, slamming the door shut and locking it. She backed away from the door, her heart pounding in her chest. She could hear the scratching sound again, coming from the other side of the door. Laura huddled against the wall, her eyes closed. She was trapped. The scratching sound continued for what felt like an eternity. Then, it abruptly stopped. Laura waited a few minutes, but she didn't hear anything else. She slowly opened her eyes and took a deep breath. She cautiously walked over to the door and peered out into the hallway. It was still dark, but she could see that the storage room door was closed. Laura hesitated for a moment, then she slowly opened the door and stepped out into the hallway. She tiptoed to the storage room door and listened. There was no sound. Laura took a deep breath and opened the door. The storage room was empty. There was no sign of whatever had been making the scratching sound. Laura was relieved, but she was also shaken. She knew that something had been in that room with her. But what? Laura decided that she had had enough. She quickly gathered her belongings and left the office. She didn't look back. As Laura walked out of the building, she felt a chill run down her spine. She knew that she would never forget her Halloween nightmare.